Start with an opening statement from Coach Urgo, and we'll take questions.
I want to give credit to Coach Lang and St. Joe's for coming in here and a really talented offensive group. It's hard to get to string together consecutive stops against a team that's really explosive offensively. I'd like to thank the crowd. We got a great crowd, and really focus on our seniors. Abdu, Brian, Matt, Jackie, Jaffe, Zach, all have given a lot of pride in the time that they've been here. Jackie and Matt, a little bit less time, obviously. Jaffe, a little less time in 2 years, but every one of them's bought into the name on the front. We appreciate that. Brian, Zach, and Abdu have been here since the very beginning, or at least Zach and Abdu, and Brian came the following year. But all 4 years we've been here, and they've bled that uniform, and they really do take pride in the name on the front and never really worry about the name on the back. And for that, we appreciate what they've helped create here. Culture that we have here, a standard that we have here that we feel is very rich and does have the capacity to eventually take off in the future. And it has a lot to do with those guys, especially Zach and Abdu being here that first year with Coach Neptune, helping us create a standard that we believe is very high and that does give you a chance to take this program to heights it's never seen, as seen 2 years ago. As far as the game, it's about defense, right? We have to take more pride in getting stops. We have to get upset once teams score on us. That's what we've been here the last 3 years. We've been a tremendous defensive team. Unfortunately, they're hard to guard, but it's happened a couple of times recently in the last several games. We've played great, some great halves offensively, and struggled in the second half. But it's hard to score when you're just not getting stops consistently, and we've got to take more pride in getting stops and rebounds. If you look at a statistic sheet, you have 21 offensive rebounds. You only have one less turnover, one less assist, and you lose that game at home by any score. That's just unheard of. You have 21 offensive rebounds with only 19 second chance points is just, that's hard. You got to convert those. And look, referees got a hard job, but to only have one foul called on us at home with 4 minutes left in the second half is outrageous. It just is, especially since we were getting the same situation in the first half and getting the exact same situation, getting those calls, and that was what was getting us to the free throw line, allowing us to set up our defense. But it's very difficult to consistently score when you're not getting much help. But we got to do a better job. I have to do a better job of holding our team accountable on the defensive end, and we'll continue to work. And look, I credit our team and our leaders and our locker room. Anybody who's come into our practices, you would have, again, and I say, you'd have no idea what our record is. And to me, that shows that they care, that they're working, we're getting better. We just need to continue to fight and claw and just try to figure out a way to string some stops together.
Good question, Sam.
Coach, you had double-digit performances from Jameer and Josh tonight. Can you talk about where they've improved this year in terms of finishing at the rim?
Yeah, they're both fantastic offensive players. They both have great skill sets. Josh is the lead athlete. He's shooting the ball much better from the perimeter this year. Struggled coming in, and then Banks, he's been working. So, we continue to tell him shoot the ball, and he banks 2 threes tonight, which is great. Tripp's just been getting better and better. Look, Tripp was just an elite basketball player over the summer and the fall, and then got a knee injury. He was out for 6 weeks, and sometimes it takes a little longer to get going. In the last couple of games, I really believe since Richmond, honestly, he's starting to come back into his own and be a really effective offensive player. We need more commitment on the defensive end from everybody.
Going back to what you said about the seniors having a chance to get a walk-on like Brian in that game, and he gets that ovation from the crowd. Is your reaction on that moment?
Yeah, we're people first, right? And our jobs are to prepare these guys for the real world. That's our main jobs. A lot of people get caught up in wins and losses, and I understand why. But our jobs is to make them better than when they leave than when they came in. And Brian Nussbaum has been an incredible member of our program. as well as Alex Usatane, our manager, and they gave just really tremendous, heartfelt speeches to our program last night in a tradition we have after our training table where our seniors speak to the team, and it was really powerful. And I coach Brian Nussbaum's brother at Penn State. I know his mother very well. The family's been through a lot in the last 5, 6, 7 years, and to have him represent our program when he goes out into the real world as a doctor, he's going to be very successful. And I'm just privileged to have him as a part of our program and wear that uniform. And that's what it's all about. The fans appreciating these guys' hard work and dedication. And Brian's given us everything he's asked for, or everything we've asked for.
Coach, it seemed like similar to the game, guys were able to kind of handle their length and their defensive pressure early on. It was really effective in the first half, a little bit less effective. I know you mentioned kind of just how tough it was, trying to continue to be aggressive and not, be able to get the benefit of some of the calls. How do you kind of just continue to press upon your team, second half, we can still find our rhythm and still stay successful offensively, in spite of some of the challenges that come along with just trying to stay on task throughout the rest of the game?
Yeah, we just got to continue to stay aggressive. In the first half, they had to go to their small lineup because we were being really effective in the paint and getting their big fella in some precarious situations. And unfortunately, in the second half, he was a rim protector, and he was a forced, and they got to keep that bigger lineup in. And then when we got him out, they went to the small lineup is when we started scoring again. The only issue is we couldn't get stops on the other end. So we couldn't get into a rhythm, and then we finally cut it to 8. And then, Xavier Brown, he's a Rookie of the Year for a reason. He doesn't act like a rookie anymore. He's a sophomore, but that kid plays like a senior. And that, clock coming down, bop, bop, bop at the top of the key, bangs the 3. That was kind of the dagger that put it away. And kind of, any sails that we had left kind of deflated. But we just got to continue to be aggressive and run our stuff. We have not selfish guys, but, naturally when we're reeling a little bit, everybody wants to make a play to try to help us out. And we can get a little sped up at that point. And I think that happened in spurts of the second half. And which is hard when you're not getting stops. So, really we got to feed off our defense. So again, it's not necessarily the offensive end, but when you give up 90 points, you're not going to win very many basketball. I mean, we scored 76 points in longs. With 21 offensive rebounds. So it has nothing to do with the offensive end. It's got everything to do with, our defensive of pressure and our intensity and our physicality and just the will to get stops, and we got to step that up.
Anything else for Coach, Sam?
Coach, you mentioned it a bit in your opening statement, but this is the first time in a while on a senior day that Fordham's had so many seniors that not all of them were able to start. I mean, what does that say about kind of what you've built and what Coach has built at this program over the past 4 years?
Yeah, I think we have an incredible culture here, and I think Fordham University is one of the main reasons. This institution is tremendous, and people want to be a part of the community. And we have great people that talk about loyalty, and Zach Riley and Abdu have been incredibly loyal to us, and Jaffe coming in for 2 years, Jackie wanting to come be a part of it, and obviously Brian. And we have just an unbelievable managerial staff, and so credit to Alex and his leadership with that group. But it's a testament to our staff and obviously the type of institution Fordham is and what it provides. And we're proud to be a part of it. And, we've had the least amount of transfers of anybody in our league, which has been second most in transfers of any league in the country the last 2 or 3 years for this pass. So we take a lot of pride in that. That means people want to be a part of our program and stay a part of it. We need to continue to build off of that.
Anything else? One more?
I know a lot of focus is pointed towards Fleming when you play St. Joe's, but they obviously have some depth in the backcourt as well as physicality in the front court along with him. How do you feel like he kind of accentuates the abilities of the other guys based off what he's able to do?
Who's that?
For Fleming.
Yeah.
What he does as far as accentuating the abilities of the other guys that they have in connection with his sound as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's just what I love about him is he's gotten so much bigger, stronger. There's no emotions with him, and I mentioned it to the broadcasters. He just plays one way and one way only. He's physical. He plays multiple positions. He's got great size, and his skill level's obviously really high, but he's a really smart basketball player. He moves without the basketball. He finds and never really forces anything. He didn't force anything, So, they have 3 elite guards. But the kid Finckney, I think, he's been the biggest surprise for them, and the reason why they're 6-1 in the last 7 now after beating us is him inserting into the starting lineup. he doesn't try to do anything he can't do. He's so solid, didn't make any mistakes. And when you have a kid coming from who started in the Big Ten for 2 years, coming off the bench, it's a pretty good roster. You got a great backcourt. He's really experienced and really smart. Can score the ball in so many different ways. It's a powerful offensive team.
Thanks, Coach.
Go Rams.
Thanks, Coach.